This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Scottie Resources, Mr. Brad Rourke. Brad, it's great to have you back on. How have you been? Interesting times out there.
Yeah, interesting times for sure. Doing well. I dare not complain. The storms of life are around all of us, but we're one of the lucky ones. So life's good. Thank you.
Well, listen, obviously, on a very human side and take and note, globally, it's definitely interesting and volatile and, for a lot of people, dangerous times. Switching gears to the markets, though, I have to congratulate you and the Scottie team. You're absolutely knocking it out the park. We spoke a bit off air. The latest release was an intercept of 34.6 grams per ton gold over 11.86 meters. You had a release on the 22nd where you knocked out 9 grams per ton gold over 7.39 meters and 14.5 grams per ton gold over 3.65 meters. I mentioned off air to you that geologically, it seems to me that you and the team have a very clear handle on the model. Can you speak more to that and these latest results?
Sure. And I think just so we're clear, the results I think you just said, the second set, that's kind of from Scottie Gold Mine, that different zone, very close, but different zone. But let's just talk about Blueberry, and because we've got a whole bunch of extremely nice intercepts, and we had the last 3 years. But let's just say this is when we first attacked or went at Blueberry 3 seasons ago, we were chasing a vein, much like we're doing at the Scottie Gold Mine. But we found something well in advance of drilling this vein, new discovery for us. We did a tight drill program around that 2 seasons ago. And we came up with this idea, this hypothesis, is that we're not looking for veins. We're finding gold along a contact in between sediments and volcanic rocks. So 2021 is the year that we tested that theory. It was just a theory in 2020. So in 2021, the last season, we stepped out and we basically have gone from 0 to about 720 meters of strike length, and we pushed this down to about 225 meters. Again, new discovery. It played out very well for us this season, and 78% of our holes hit along that contact. So we've switched focus. We built the model in around the contact between sediments and the volcanic rocks, and we can trace that for a lot longer. We lose it under a lake bed that has no water in it anymore, but we see that contact going very far to the south, and so this thing's open in all directions. I think we have 10 holes over 100 gram meters, and if people would go and just look at the long section of Blueberry and understand that that's 7,000 meters of drilling only, and where there is no grade, there's just no holes. We just haven't drilled it yet. So we're excited. We're on to something. I mean, what we do as exploration companies, if we're out hunting, we've found something. We just now have to start determining how big it is. But what you can see right now, very exciting. And then, of course, we're in the right jurisdiction to boot.
And I think context is important. And I'm glad that you mentioned, the difference between the two sets of results, right? This being from the Blueberry Zone, the other set of results being from the Scottie Gold Mine, which is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's roughly like 2 kilometers northeast of the Blueberry Zone, correct?
No, it'd actually be southwest. So
okay.
Northeast is Blueberry from Scottie. But I mean, you can see the two of them. I mean, Scottie's up on the mountain, Blueberries on the valley bottom, but interesting enough is that contact goes all the way to the bottom of the Scottie Gold Mine. Something that we're dreaming of. We're going to test that this year, but interesting little thing. Internally we're excited, but we'll just we'll be testing a few things this year to kind of see maybe Scottie's a result of what's happening at that contact. Certainly the Blueberry vein, of which we paid $1 million for, and that's what we were chasing at Blueberry originally.
Right.
We have a high degree of confidence that's just a bleed out of mineralogy from this contact. So we don't even look at the vein anymore, and we paid $1 million for it. $1 million is still a lot of money to us, But yeah, you know, when we bought it 3 years ago, it was the biggest risk at the time that we've ever taken. We don't even look at that vein anymore. So we're on to something. It's just a matter of people just taking the time to have a look. And interesting times ahead of us. There's a lot of excitement. We're going to drill the heck out of blueberry this year. Make no mistake.
When you say that you're going to drill the heck out of it, it looks like more than 15,000 meters. Is that accurate?
Well, that's what we're telling the market we're going to do this season. We don't want to, we did 14,500 meters in 2021, 7,000 the year before that, and only 2,000 in 2019 was the very first time we ever drill tested. And we were essentially working on 4 different zones that all had very interesting possibilities. Where we are today, it's quite funny. I have 30,000 meters of drill targeting, but because the market being as it is, we don't want to do a meter less than we did last season. So we're telling the market we're going to do 15,000 meters, and we will. So that's the plan we put together. And what I can say is, 85% of that drilling will just be at Blueberry, for the simple fact that it's skid based. We had 4 drill pads on the road this year, so it's more cost effective. Gram meter per dollar that we're seeing now. There's nothing. We're still excited with the other zones. Scottie Gold. If you look at those intercepts we're having there, we're expanding the known mine. It's very successful for us as well. It's just a little bit more expensive to drill, and I think the market being the way it is, we can just keep. 78% of the holes thus far have hit along that contact, and when I say hit, we're talking 7 gram plus stuff. So it's real mineralogy, and it's just where our most success is, and so that's what we'll focus on this year, and we'll just see how big it is. We have no idea how big it is. We just know it's open and along strike, and then more importantly at depth. You see the 400 gram meter hole we just put out. It's very eye popping, but internally, it was 2 weeks ago when we put out 15 grams over 13 meters on Blueberry at depth. That to us is actually a 200 gram meter hole, but we like that one better because it's showing us this goes deeper and potentially getting wider down there. So it's all go for expanding at depth, and it's a mesothermal system. So we just don't know how long it goes, but there's no indication that it has any faulting or anything at this time. So we're excited to go deep, and then we can chase that contact for kilometers. Of course, when you go drilling at depth, you got to be measured. You can't go too big a step outs because you might just lose where that contact is. But long strike, you can, with a little bit of IP and some surface controls, you can know where that contact is. So we can trace it for kilometers to the south. Anyhow, we're going to get it cut off at the north, we know, because there's an intrusion there. But again, there's only 7,000 meters thus far on Blueberry, and I think there's 10 holes of over 100 gram meters.
Exciting stuff. How is the turnaround with the assay labs coming?
Well, we've,
I had to ask, Brad.
For a few years. Well, here's a little market insight, and maybe I'm different than most people you talk to. It's probably a blessing that we didn't get our assays back in time. We need them because we're seasonally challenged, just so we can plan the next drill hole. What we did last season is we're doing prep, or we have SGS. We have a mobile prep lab, and that really allowed us to get feedback and drill off the same season. We've never been able to do that before. That was great. But where I go, normally we should have had all my drill results out, 2 months ago, but it just wouldn't have mattered. As you can see, the market's very uninterested in junior mining at the moment. So, the assays, it's an issue. I think it's going to continue to be an issue, but us putting the prep lab, the bottleneck is with the crushing of the rocks. And so we're doing that right in Stewart. And, we weren't complaining about our assay turnaround this year. Anyway, so maybe my opinion's a little bit different.
No, it's funny to be.
The assays get back as soon as I can to drill the next hole. That's really my goal.
Sure. It's funny that you mentioned that, Brad, because I've had, the better technical companies have all responded in similar fashion. And that being that, yes, we want the assays back as quick as we can have them. But in an odd sense, the delay in those assay labs has led to two things. One, a stronger gold market, which hopefully, bleeds over into the junior space, right? And two, the ability to really focus on just real quality surface and exploration, geochem work, geophysics if it applies, and different things for different companies. But we're seeing some really quality exploration leading up to drilling, and it's paying off because you're seeing hit rates increase, at least with those companies that have better technical teams and are being given a little bit longer field season to execute on those plans. Is that a similar situation with the team at Scottie?
No, I'd say you're bang on. Interesting you see it that way, because where we're at now, I mean, the junior mining market, people want torque and find a discovery, and we just happen to achieve all those things during a market that didn't care. We're at the point right now where it doesn't matter how great of a salesman I am or what dream I can. This is all about math. So I just need the drill holes in the ground. The timing is going to be what it is. We're a mathematical equation right now because we found something. So yes, I want that feedback because I just want to be able to drill off. We theoretically should get smarter with every drill hole we do because we're adding to the model, right? But right now, all I care about is meters. The timing is going to be what it is. But I think Scottie now is just judged purely on how just what is there. So it's just a mathematical equation for us. We'll just see how big it is. We don't know how big it is, but oh my gosh, it's a lot bigger than what we're showing now. That's for sure.
Well, and again, it's there, and that's the key part, right? The market will turn when the market turns, but clearly you have the goods, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how big this turns out to be. Brad, always a pleasure to have you on. We were overdue for a good catch up. I hope to have you back on soon.
That'll be great. Well, we'll have our 2022 plan. There's a few things happening here in the future, but rest assured we're out marketing for the next few months. Just get people to have a look. Right?
Excellent.
That's all you need to do is have a peek at it. Hope you're having a good day. Nice speaking with you.
Awesome. Same, Brad. Take care out there.
Bye now.